Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandy Jobin Bevins, cast member of Monkey Toast. And before we start the show tonight, I wanted to do a couple of acknowledgments. My first acknowledgement is that the history of Canada that I was taught in elementary and in high school was crap. We were taught virtually nothing of what the First Nations were in Canada and what they meant to this history of this country. And for that, it's an eternal embarrassment. But it's not just the fault of the education system. It's also, I would say personally for me, my fault too. I should have been more curious to seek out the truth. I am thankful that when I got to university and got a better education on this topic and met the right people, that my eyes were opened to what had happened in the past, what was happening currently, and for that I'm thankful. Now on to something more positive. Our land acknowledgement. First of all, our guest tonight is coming to us from Los Angeles, so we want to acknowledge the traditional territory of the Keech Nation. And for the rest of us performing, I'd like to acknowledge the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe, the Mississauga, the Credit First Nation, and the Mississauga here in Toronto, within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement, which is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We give thanks to their stewardship of the land, and we hope that we can all live together in peace and harmony. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone, to Monkey Toast, improvised talk shows, live online with Ed Sahaley. Gail Boyer and her dog is performing tonight as well. Jerry Griffin, his cat is not joining us. Danny Joan Bevins, he's petless but has a home. Dan Caruana, she's got a cooking blog. Kirby Barnes, he's got a guitar or guitar. Special guest all the way from Los Angeles. Hey, Kogen. Yeah, baseball fan. Improvised. That's green dog. Hosted by me, David Shore. Look at that photo. Here I am. Here's my video. Here I am. Hi, everyone. Hello there, out there to everybody in the world. That is the sentence that made no sense. But hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Monkey Toast Live. And I apologize to anyone who's been trying to watch on Facebook because for some reason the stream's not working there and we posted links. So, but if you're trying to watch it on Facebook, you probably wouldn't be hearing that anyway. So what do I know? I'm just some putz. But I'm joined as always by The Clash. Yeah. And tonight's special guest appearance by the Moshe Dayan doll. Yeah, Moshe Dayan and The Clash are very excited because they are huge fans of The Simpsons, particularly Kang and Kodos, who are guests tonight, actually created or co-created. And just for those of you that are new to the show, just so you know, all of our online shows are and have been pay what you can. Yeah, so there's the link. You can make a donation to help support us, to help feed Moshe Dayan. He eats a lot. It's paypal.me/monkeytoasttoronto. That's paypal.me/monkeytoasttoronto. And if you go there, you'll see the name on the account is Nathan Shore, because Nathan's my first name. Yeah, hear that, scammers? That's my first name. Yeah, and you'll see this face, but maybe without glasses, you'll see this face. Yeah, and so that you'll know it's me, and the money is going to the cast. And that is once again paypal.me/monkeytoasttoronto. Okay, and you know, this is the time of the intro of the show where I make a joke about former Monkey Toast host and good friend of the show, Ron Tite. And someone said to me, who is Ron Tite? And I said, that's an excellent question. Who is Ron Tite? Well, for those of you who don't know, Ron Tite, AKA the Oshawa Kid. Yeah, he's the kind of guy who looks Jewish but isn't, kind of guy who looks like he's not from Oshawa, but is. Look at the lip schwitz I have going here. Look at that. Carolyn Taylor, my old stage wife at the Second City, will be laughing. And all my lip schwitz, the Clash, are not impressed. Joe Strummer never got lip schwitz. No. Topper Hedden, twice got lip schwitz. Any case, back to Ron Tite. You know, when Ron Tite was still in high school, he started writing ad for the Carvel Ice Cream Company. It's true. And he came up with their famous tagline, please buy our ice cream. Or as they would say, please buy our ice cream. You have to emphasize the begging on the please buy the ice cream. And 10 years before Ron was born, Ron came up with the idea for Carvel's Fudgy the Whale. Yeah, Fudgy the Whale was an ice cream cake. We might have a photo. There it is, Fudgy to a whale of a dad, whale of a mom, whale of a birthday boy. Whatever the occasion, you could be a whale of. Ron came up with that before he was born. Very impressive. Yeah, it is. And when asked about Ron's impact on Carvel, its founder and owner, Tom Carvel, said, and there's a quote, he had a lot of great ideas for us, especially before he was born, but I still don't know what Cookie Puss is. Who does? Yeah. And then Tom added, please buy our ice cream. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's enough of that. If you're still with us, God bless you. Let's bring out the cast to say hello. Where are you, cast? Let's come out here. Hello, where are they? Here they are. There they are. There's Bill. Yeah, oh, there's Jan.
Hello.
Ed, Carrie. Where's Sandy? Where's Sandy? There's Sandy Joe. Oh, look at that. Look at where you give us there. All right, good to see all of you. And let's hear it for Matthew Reed on the keys. He's somewhere. Him and his pooch are playing along. He's somewhere. And helping us editing and doing the live stream, Dan Gallia. Show yourself, Dan. Show yourself, Dan. There's Matt. There, Matt's in a storm. There's Dan. There. I love when Dan just appears from beyond the screen. It always makes me laugh. And let me explain briefly how the show works. In a moment, I'm going to bring out our special guest, and I'm going to conduct an interview with him. The cast has no idea the questions I'm going to ask. And then after a while, I'm going to throw the focus back to the players, the Monkey Toast players. They're going to improvise. Everything they do is made up on the spot. And the show's going to go back and forth between interview and improv. Sound like fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure does.
All right, sure does. That was unrehearsed. Okay, so all right, guys, why don't you disappear, and I'll bring out our guest tonight. Before I do, let me just remind you, tonight's show is funded by you, the good people who love PBS. I don't know. And once again, you can make a donation at our PayPal, which is paypal.me/monkeytoasttoronto. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, I'm extra lip schwitzy tonight. I think it's 2021. I'm very excited for some reason. In any case, I'm very excited for tonight. I've been so anxious and thrilled to have our guest on. Our special guest tonight has won 4 Emmy Awards while writing and producing on The Tracy Ullman Show, The Simpsons, and Frasier. He also worked on Malcolm in the Middle, George Lopez, Ned and Stacey, The School of Rock, and he's one of the co-runners of the new iCarly reboot. He also co-wrote, produced, and appeared in the cult classic film The Wrong Guy, which was shot here in Toronto. And he also appeared in The Aristocrats, and he's got loads of other credits. Please welcome to the show, all the way from Los Angeles, Mr. Jay Kogen. Jay Kogen. Yeah. A lot of applause for Jay Kogen. There he is, joining us from his underwater lair. I can see here. Yes.
I've always fashioned myself a Bond villain, so why not have an underwater lair?
It's every Jewish boy's, I think, dream to be either a Beastie Boy or a Bond villain. I think those are the
maybe
two.
both. Maybe both.
It's very true. Yeah. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. You joined us a bit, the pre-show thing, you joined us a bit late. And I said, I don't know if you remember me, but we met over 20 years ago. I was in the Paramount Television's Comedy Writers Apprenticeship program, and they thought that was a good short title for what it was. And you came in one week and led a session, and you gave a lot of great information. You were very funny, and I'd see you from time to time, and I've always really enjoyed your work, and I can't thank you enough for being on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I love being asked to do anything, especially during COVID. Anything that takes my mind off of the impending disaster that is the world, I'm thrilled with.
Yeah, well, that's, normally we would have, like I mentioned to you, we'd have politicians on the show or journalists, and we're just not doing that right now.
Yep.
Because why talk about the world when we can just talk about some fun things? The Clash have had it with the world. Joe said he's not coming back from the dead, and and Moshe Dayan said the same. So in any case, there's so much I want to ask you about, and we're not going to have time. So if anyone is tuning in to hear about something in particular, I apologize if we don't get there. But I want to start with you. I'd like to talk about your father, Arnie Kogen, because, why don't you share with us, your father was also a commentator. Share with us some of the things your father worked, some of the shows and other publications he's worked on over the years.
My father started off from Brooklyn, New York, and was the son of a clothing manufacturer. And he broke away from that to decide to write comedy. So he was writing for stand-up comedians. At the same time, he started writing for Mad Magazine. Mm-hmm. And eventually, which, by the way, was a huge deal when I was 7. Like the fact that my dad wrote for Mad Magazine was gave me a lot of clout. And then then he went on to write some talk shows, The Tonight Show, eventually with Johnny Carson. Then moved out to Los Angeles to work on the Dean Martin Show and the Carol Burnett Show, variety shows. Worked his way into sitcoms, which was like the MASH and Mary Tyler Moore, but he was on Newhart and the Bob Newhart Show and shows like that for many, many years. He's still incredibly funny.
He's still around.
He's still around, yeah. No, he could be here if he could work the internet, he could be here. I'd have to help him get with Zoom, but once he did it, he could be here. Yeah.
And I understand when you were younger, you didn't want to follow in your father's footsteps, but
No.
but didn't you at some point, didn't you write a spec script when you were quite young? Like when
Yeah,
you were,
I mean, my first spec script, I think when I was in high school, like I was 15 years old with some friends, and my dad, it was for Newhart, which my dad was working on, and he looked at it and he basically said, "This is terrible. You should never be a comedy writer. This is not a good idea. This is not good." And then we wrote another spec script for another thing. All of the writers, one of the writers I wrote a spec script with became my writing partner at The Simpsons, Mark Wallace Wolodarski. And then there was another partner in this thing we did, which was Billy Ray. He was an Academy Award nominated writer, and another writer named Robbie Fox, who's also done very well in film. All four of us are professional writers, and all four of us were told, "This is terrible, don't be writers." So,
and I watched some interviews with your dad and with you, and your dad gives up kind of like a life of the party kind of vibe, like that he's fun at a party and wedding. And he told a story about he was at a wedding and you were there, you were maybe 10 or 11, and he was kind of working the room. Do you know the story I'm talking about?
Yeah, he did. We did a thing, like my dad does a bit where he puts whipped cream, like on dessert time, a wedding, he puts a massive amount of whipped cream on his face and then starts walking around talking to people as if he doesn't know there's a giant amount of whipped cream on his face. Now, that's my dad. So after years of watching my dad do that, I put whipped cream on my face, walked up to him and said, "Which tables haven't you worked?" Because I thought it would be entertaining to him. And that is a tradition that my son has carried forward with.
Right.
He's 19, but when he was 7, he put whipped cream on his face. So this is, some families have other traditions, have family crests, have money. We have whipped cream on our face.
Face. And your dad, you mentioned your dad wrote for both Newhart shows, for the Bob Newhart show and then Newhart. Yeah. And when you were younger, so you didn't want isn't it true you wanted to be an actor at some point? Was that?
Yeah, I thought, I wanted to be in show business. I knew I wanted to be in show business and do something in show business. And I didn't know what it was. And I knew I didn't want to be a writer because my dad was a writer and it looked really hard and it looked boring and he was alone in his room a lot. And it seemed very unsocial. So I thought acting you do with people, that's fun. And so I tried to be an actor. I tried to be a stand-up comedian. I tried to do a lot of things. And it's Scary Challenge. But yes, so I did a lot of those kind of things. I fell into writing when I was working as a PA on a show, and then they started paying me well to become a writer. Like I got my first job as a writer. I had had some jobs as actors, but it never really took. But once I started writing, they let me work there forever.
Didn't you appear on the Bob Newhart show, like the original Bob?
When I was 10, I was on the Bob Newhart show. I have a picture of me.
Nope. Let's see. Oh my God. Look.
See this.
I think you need to pull it back a little bit. Pull it back a little bit, Jack. There we go. We can see it.
That's me with Bob Newhart.
And then weren't you as well on Newhart, like years?
I did Newhart. Now, both those jobs were nepotism. My father wrote episodes of the Bob Newhart show and wrote a character named Jay and put me in as Jay. And then later on, I was a student in a typing class in Newhart, and me and another friend of mine from the Groundlings were also cast in it, not coincidentally, because my father had written that show as well. So my talents were good enough to get cast by my father, and no more than that. So,
okay, you know what? Based on all that, let's see some improv.
Okay.
Oh, hey Jay, how's the report coming?
It's almost done.
Oh, good. Just walking around, in the cubicles, just saying hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
No. That's it.
Jay, tell her. Jay, tell her.
Yeah.
I can't
Cool.
tell.
So that's gonna be on time, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Working real hard on it. We're getting.
Jay, tell her.
I'm not gonna tell.
You gotta tell her.
All right.
Listen, is it hot in here? I feel like it's so hot in the office today. I just feel like I don't know what's going on. Like,
Okay. I'm just gonna say it. you've got a post-it note on your forehead, and it's been there since 2005.
You don't say.
Yeah, no, it's been.
Oh wow. Oh
it's-
my gosh. Where is it? Where is it? Oh
it's
my
just a-
gosh. Is it here?
That's the one. Yeah, we didn't want to
Oh.
look at it. Yeah, it just watch
Oh
the
wow.
Seinfeld is written on there. That's how long it's been there.
Right. Yeah.
It's
I
been really
bet you
awkward.
thought it was pretty funny though, right? I think it was funny though, good.
seriously.
No, we didn't think it was funny, okay?
Did you put it there as a joke until somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
I popped it here once as a joke, and then I got immediately that day I got promoted to assistant manager. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm impressed you didn't tell me, but I'm also just like, I'm impressed that I'm just like telling you this. Just stick a little something to your face. Just stick a little something.
Meanwhile, in a suburban home across town. Son?
Yeah, Pop. What's up?
I don't know how to tell you this, but I found the spec TV guide you wrote.
Oh shit! I swear that's not mine. That's not
I
mine.
know-
My
no,
friend
no,
Jimmy
no,
gave
no.
it to me. I was just.
I know you. I know. No, no.
I was
I know
just
you wanna
holding it
follow-
for him. I swear, Pop.
I know you want to follow in your old man's footsteps and write plot synopses for television shows for TV Guide, but son, I gotta tell you, these are
What?
they're not good.
What?
Well,
But
look
I
at
thought
this.
I.
Look at this first one. Look at this first one.
Yeah.
Mad Men.
Sure.
Don Draper, an ad executive, bangs ladies and drinks highballs. And then you just wrote balls. Ha 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 ha.
Look, I'm trying to make the TV Guide blurbs more relatable to people. People, look, Pop, sex sells, right? They want to know that he's drinking and he's banging.
Son, the TV Guide is an illustrious tome.
Oh, I
It
know.
lands on people's doorsteps and they go, thank God the guide is here. Thank God the guide is here. Now, do you think any schmuck off the street can just plop himself down at a Smith Corona and write a synopsis?
No, of course not, Pop. But I ain't no schmuck on the corner. I'm your son. It's in my
You think
genes.
this runs through your blood? You think this is in your veins?
Yeah. I got synopses flowing through my veins and wanting to come out my fingertips, Pop. I wrote synopses about everything. I mean, listen to this one. This one isn't about a TV show. A father who's very successful never believes in his son, but his son keeps hoping that one day his dad will see the light. What do you think that's a synopsis of?
Never thought of it that way. You got another one there?
Yeah. A father may find out one day that his son, did steal $20 out of his wallet when he was 7. But maybe the father realizes that the kid learned his lesson already.
I got a synopsis for you, son.
Yeah?
When a belligerent dad takes the time to really look and see who his son is, he realizes that the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon.
When you coming home, Dad?
I don't know when.
Oh,
We'll
be together then.
Anyway, I was gonna suggest that you write the crossword. Any idiot can do that, but maybe you do have synopses in your veins.
Cyril, you do know that in the end of that song, the son just ignores his father, right? You know that, right?
I was not aware. I never made it to the end of the song.
Yeah, make it to the end of that song. The son is a schmuck.
Well,
The son may be a schmuck, but the whole point of that song is that the son's exactly like his dad, so schmuck don't fall far from the schmuck tree.
son, if you turned out like me, I would be very disappointed.
Cut to a hitchhiker on the side of the road. I need a ride. Hello?
Yeah, hey, how long you been out here for?
Oh, I've been out here since Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah, I got to get back to the North Pole.
Oh, geez. Oh, my God, you're an elf.
I am an elf.
Okay, well, I got lots of room for you. You want to go in the glove compartment?
I'd love to. Thanks.
All right.
My
Just
name's Ernie.
Hey, Ernie, just squeeze in there beside my gun.
Oh, that's a big gun.
Yeah, all the better to kill elves with.
Oh, no! I got a gun, too. There it is.
Why is an elf packing a gun?
Because this gun is full of happiness.
Happiness? Well, you're
Yes,
happy to...
anybody I shoot becomes happy.
Ah!
Doesn't that feel better?
It does. It feels so much better. I mean, I was just traveling this road murdering random strangers, but now I feel like I've got real purpose in my life. Thank you, Elf. Thank
You're
you so much.
Welcome. Now drive to the North Pole.
Will do, with pleasure.
3 days later at the guy's house.
This is me. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
And 3 days after that at the man's house.
Gotta go.
Finally home. What a long trip up to the North Pole I just took.
Honey, I can't believe you're back.
Yes, and you won't believe the adventure I had.
Well, when you left, you took your gun and you said you were never coming home.
Yes. But all that changed when an elf shot me with its happy gun.
You don't say.
Yes. I kind of went out on a bit of a spree down that road, thinking I'd never turn back and just keep going until the authorities captured me. But then I met this little elf, and he shot me with his happy gun, and I've never been more delighted.
Well, I read an exact article about something like this in People magazine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says that the effects are long-lasting and people just have this exuberant feeling for the rest of their lives.
Incredible. I left home a killer and came home a caring man.
Cut to the happy guy's character at the doctor's office. Well, I'm glad you could come in, Mr. Rickerson.
Of course, Doctor. I'm so glad to be here. I love to see you in your office whites.
Yes, thank you. Listen, I'd like you to take a seat. This is a very serious matter.
Take it home or leave it here and sit on it.
No, I just need you to sit down and focus for a minute. It's
okay, sure, yeah, sure.
It's very serious. I've looked over your charts, and well, you don't have very long to live, I'm afraid. I'm not sure if you heard me correctly. It's a very serious diagnosis. There's no known cure. You have a rare, incredibly rare disease, and
what's the disease called? Because I'd love to learn some more Latin.
Well, it's called Spinecte carlarum. It's a
Spinecte carlarum. Oh, that's my old harem. It's all the wives I wanted to marry.
I don't think you should sing about your terminal illness. I mean, I suppose everyone deals with things differently, but
sure. What kind of fun am I going to have with this Spinecte harem?
Well, it's not fun at all. Actually, it really hits your pain. What's that?
What happens?
It hits your pain receptors so that everything will cause you intense pain. Just the slightest touch, even brushing your elbow against a wall will be excruciating.
You know, I never thought about how much I love brushing my elbow against a wall before.
And see. All right. That was a little bit crazy. You know, before I bring Jay back, I want to let you all know that Monkey Toast is available for all your private and corporate and virtual entertainment needs. And the Clash can be there for an extra charge. They like the booze. And I guess there's more info on our website, monkeytoast.com. You can click on the Hire Us tab at the top, and you can email me for more info via the website. And tonight's show, as we've said many times, is pay what you can via PayPal at paypal.me/monkeytoast Toronto. Okay, and now let's bring back tonight's guest, the one and only Jay Kogen. Hey, Jay.
You know,
there we go.
Picture of me and my son with whipped cream on our face. There you go.
That's awesome.
So that's the that's proof that the story is true.
The story is true. Jay, when was the last time you heard a TV Guide reference in anything? Gotta
You know,
say.
people don't talk about the TV Guide. It used to be a very important document in my house when I was growing up. We used to love the fall preview TV Guide. Was like the thing. I was very excited for.
It was very exciting.
I don't know if it exists anymore.
No, I think TV Guide went. It used to be the number one magazine in the world, like 45 million subscribers a week, and then nothing. It's no one needs TV Guide anymore. But let's get back to talking about you, Jay Kogen. That's why you're here. And so, was the Tracy Ullman Show the first show that you started writing on? Was that the show
my first professional writing gig? Was the Tracy Ullman Show. I got on the Tracy Ullman Show based on I had worked as a runner, production assistant on a show called It's Gary Shandling Show, and when I was there, there's that one. I was also on that show several times as a character called Big Grant. So the unflattering future of one of the child stars was me. But I worked on that show as a PA while I was in college with my buddy Mark Wallace, and we wrote a spec script for It's Gary Shandling Show. They liked it but did not buy it, and then we wrote another one and they liked that and did not buy it. And eventually we showed it to a consulting producer who was there named Sam Simon, who read it and liked it enough to say, I'll show it to this other show I'm working on called Tracy Ullman Show. He showed it to Heidi Perlman and James L. Brooks and Jerry Belson, and somebody there read it. One of those people read it and said, bring them in and they'll pitch. And we pitched, and then they bought a sketch, we wrote it, and then we were hired on that as a team to write a ton of sketches for the Tracy Ullman Show.
I wanted to ask you about Sam Simon, because when I was in university, Mike, Gene, and Al Reese, who at the time were the showrunners of The Simpsons, came and spoke to my writing class.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was asking them about certain people they thought were like the genius behind The Simpsons, but they kept saying that Sam Simon is really the guy. Like The Simpsons is all because of Sam Simon, like all the great ideas. And then they said like he ran Cheers, like he ran Taxi when he was 19 or something like that.
Yeah, he didn't run Taxi, but he worked on Taxi. He did work on Cheers. He was a genius and incredibly smart. You know, it wouldn't have happened without Matt Groening either. I think a lot of us writers worked mostly with Sam, so we give Sam a lot of credit, but Matt Groening should get credit for having created the show and drawn the original characters that you saw in the last slide. But Sam was a genius and really sort of shaped the show, and he had worked on the Fat Albert cartoon, so he knew cartoons. Oh, wow. Right. And he was an artist. He knew how to draw. He was a genius guy. I mean, he knew everything about everything. And when he stopped writing comedy after he retired from The Simpsons, and because he was so rich, he started doing a million other things: charity, boxing, ecology, helping animals. I mean, he was a very sort of interesting guy who died too early. But
yeah, that was real tragedy when he passed. So how did you go from Tracy Ullman to The Simpsons? I mean, The Simpsons started out on the Tracy Ullman Show.
Yeah, I mean, it was an easy transition. That was our project. I mean, that was like our thing. So the Simpsons became a popular element of the Tracy Ullman Show, I suppose. And then Sam Simon and Matt Groening said and Jim Brooks decided to try to make it a TV show. And when they did, the very first thing they did was ask the people in front of them, which was Wally and me, my partner and Nate, to sort of write on it. So Wally and I got to work on the very first moments of The Simpsons. We wrote the very first script for The Simpsons. We wrote everything. I mean, didn't write the pilot exactly, but we wrote a script and we were there to develop all the series. We were there very, very early, and we consider ourselves quite lucky because that was an incredible experience.
And what did your father say when you said, I'm going to go write on this animated show?
Well, my dad's taking a lot of hits here, man.
No,
dad's a good guy.
But it was just your dad.
Yeah, he was a professional TV writer, and at the time, no one in their right mind would work on a cartoon. Like going from an Emmy Award-winning sitcom to going to cartoon was a terrible career move. It's the equivalent of like ripping up your college degree and going to work at 7-Eleven and saying, "Look, I'd rather do that than work in whatever you were trained for." So. Not that there's anything wrong with working at 7-Eleven, but if you've trained for this other thing, you don't do it. Anyway, he thought I was trading in my prime time bona fides for Saturday morning cartoon, nether regions, and it wasn't true. My partner and I said we're young enough that if we screw up, it won't matter. We really want to do this show, so we did the show, and it actually turned out to be a good move, despite my father's and everyone else, not just my father, everyone else's advice was don't do it. Take the Tracy Ullman show and go into.
Grant Tinker tell you not to do it?
Yes, Grant Tinker said so. The other really smart people all over television said that's a terrible idea because they didn't know what we knew, which was The Simpsons was probably going to be pretty funny and probably pretty cool. We weren't sure that anybody would like it, but we knew that it wouldn't be like a Saturday morning cartoon that would be embarrassing to everybody.
All right, based on all that, let's see some improv.
All right.
Hi, welcome to the 7-Eleven.
Oh, thank you. You probably know who I am, so I'm wearing my dark glasses. I would
sorry,
like-
I can't tell who you are.
Oh, well, that's good. That's very good. I would like a Slim Jim and Twinkies.
Okay, that's $3.81, please.
Thank you. I don't carry money.
Okay, well then you can't have it.
I'm without my people.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Oh, I know you. You're that guy who's on TV.
Yes, I am.
You do all those
Every
reverse
week.
mortgage commercials.
I do, and it's really helping a lot of people. And people come up to me for advice, and I'm just an actor who read the script. I don't know much about it.
Wow, well, I guess you're a
Hey,
celebrity.
aren't you that reverse mortgage guy?
Yes, I am.
My parents did that reverse mortgage. They got screwed, man. They got screwed because they thought they could believe in you.
It's just because I'm such a good actor. I don't run the company. I was just hired.
All right, I'm going to wait for you in the parking lot.
Oh, no.
Wow.
I need to buy a car.
Well, we don't sell them at 7-Eleven, but you have such a trusting face, and you kind of screwed over people? Well, you can't have this Slim Jim or this Twinkie.
Oh.
In fact, you're going to be banned from the 7-Eleven.
Oh, no, please, please. I just live down the street. This is my 7-Eleven.
Not anymore.
Where will I get convenient items?
I don't know. But when I got my doctorate in philosophy from Yale, I thought to myself, when are you ever going to use this, Janine? But today's the day.
My luck. All right, I'll go, but you will hear from my lawyers.
We cut to a random house in the suburbs somewhere with different people. Oh, it's Saturday morning, Louie. We are just going to eat Fruit Loops and watch cartoons.
I stayed up really late last night, hopped up on sugar just so I could prepare for today and just to watch cartoons.
Oh my God. I hear it's a very special edition of Scooby-Doo today.
I know, I've heard it. This is the one where Velma it completely admits who she really is.
I know.
Well, hey, Velma. Who exactly are you?
It's me, Old Man Withers from the amusement park.
Old Man Withers. We were just about to find who Velma really is.
Yeah,
What?
it's me. Look, I'm taking off my Velma mask.
Oh my
and
God.
it's me, Old Man Withers from the
Oh
amusement
my
park.
God, Velma, you were Old Man Withers this whole time?
Yep.
The doink, son. I didn't think your Old Man Withers could possibly be that Velma.
That was a twist. I didn't see that coming at all.
I did not see that coming.
Oh.
Even though every episode has somebody with a fake mask on, I did not know that's how they would reveal it.
No, I didn't know that Thelma the whole time. Think about that. They had to know that from the very first episode. They were planning that Thelma was actually Old Man Withers the whole time.
There are 7 kinds of fruit in Hawaiian Punch. 7 kinds of fruit in Hawaiian Punch. Hawaiian Punch is made with 7 kinds of fruit for a one-of-a-kind fruit taste. Dum.
Wait a minute! There are 7 different kinds of fruit?
Yes!
I never saw that coming! I never saw that coming!
I don't even think I can name 7 kinds of fruit. There's bananas, apples,
And nuts.
And nuts. That's three times. That's three times. That's three times. Man.
Oh, man. I am learning so much from Saturday morning cartoons that my mind is...
Listen, Louis, all this revelation is making me feel the need to reveal something to you.
What?
Okay.
Are you going to tear your face off?
Metaphorically speaking.
Okay.
Reveal my face and show my true self that I'm not really your brother.
What?
No.
What do you mean?
No. We're not related. I ran away from home when I was very little, and then I showed up at the door, and your parents, those who I call my parents, just took me in, and they said, you got to pretend to be a brother. And so I'm just pretending to be your brother, but I feel like I've grown into the role.
Well, I got something to reveal to you.
Oh my God, do it, Louis.
All right. I'm not really a human boy.
What?
I'm a dog.
Meanwhile, in a cab across town.
You must see some really crazy stuff out here, huh?
Boy, do I. You guys gonna share a fare, or what's the set? You two a thing? You two a thing? You two hey now?
No, we're not a thing. We're just coming from work.
Oh, work buddies.
Yeah, work buddies.
After school work buddies. You're a friend. You don't talk much, huh? You keeps it,
No, I sometimes
on
mute myself, and I forget that people can't hear me when I talk that low.
Yeah. I get it. Well, listen, I don't know if you know this, but I give one piece of advice while you're in my cab.
Okay, we'll take it.
Yeah, I got one piece of advice for you. I got one. You know what it is?
No.
Well, bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
Okay.
Because you have it. Yes. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
I just thought you were going to give us something more original than that. You kind of had us on the edge of our back seat here, and then you just gave us something we all know.
Oh. Yeah, but when's the last time you think of that, though? I
guess I think of it in different ways. What do you think, Steve?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's many other things you could have used.
How about this?
Steve, okay.
Okay, how about this one? Beware the Kirk, or you'll go arse over tea kettle.
What?
Oh, that's
Beware the Kirk, or you'll go arse over tea kettle.
Yeah, we had a great cab driver yesterday. Remember that, Steve? That was a great cab driver. He
So
kept
much
telling us
personality.
great stories,
So funny.
and it was so great. And you kind of want to tip a person like that, but this is kind of.
This is sad. It really is.
I mean, nobody's giving advice like me. Sometimes they just listen. They just listen to you. They don't. It is advice. It's
is
advice.
it?
We didn't give you any problem to give us
a
advice.
final piece of advice. Well, because I can feel your problems. You got problems written all over your face. Look at the two of you. You're sharing a cab. What kind of grown men share a cab?
Well, we also live together, so
yeah.
We're trying to be.
Oh, so you're a thing then. I asked you at the beginning if you were a thing. You said you weren't a
roommates.
Thing.
I keep trying, but he's not into it.
Like we're roommates, okay? We're trying to save money.
Just roommates. I got
so
the bigger room.
Cut to two bird in the hand instead of a bird in the...
Cut to two birds in a bush. Larry, I'm over it. Larry, I'm over it. I'm over being worthless. You know what I mean? You and me, we're just as good as any bird in a hand.
Well, yeah. We're at least worth that much. There's two of us. Come on.
That's right. Two birds in a bush should be twice as valuable as one bird in a hand. You know what happens when there's a bird in your hand? You get a handful of bird poo.
I was gonna say that's not gonna end well for anybody. Here we poop on the ground, we can talk to people, we can harmonize, we can bounce ideas off each other. We're not just one brain, we're two bird brains.
Coo. I'll go get
Hey, hey,
cook.
what'd you say about me?
Hey,
I said, what'd you say about me?
Oh my
said
God,
that we're
it's a
better
bird in
than
the
you.
hand.
just some bird in a hand. There's two
You
of
know,
us.
I deliver. That's who I am. Okay? When I wake up in the morning, I'm the bird in the hand. I'm the one who puts food on the table, while you two are the promises in the sky.
I have a couple of questions for you, Handbird.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, number one, what do you do all day?
Yeah.
You just sit in that guy's hand?
Yeah, I'm secure in this hand. I stay in this hand, and when I leave this hand, there's only a little bit of a chance that they're gonna get you. But when I stay in this hand, I'm here all day. All day, I tell
Yeah,
you.
but think about us, man. We are opportunity. We're here in this bush, but we could go anywhere. Look,
Yeah,
You
exactly,
don't even
man.
have room
I
to
pay the
spread your wings.
mortgage.
How are you paying a
No,
mortgage?
I don't. Cause I'm here, man. Like I'm here. It's
Yeah,
really stressful. Okay, like I feel like everybody's saying a lot of things, but I'm
What if
working
there
every
were
day in this
two
hand.
hands in a bird in the hand? I mean, if there are two of us, doesn't that blow your mind? I'll back you up any day.
yeah, but
And
why-
scene.
Yeah, man.
Right. Okay. A glimpse of Carrie's cat there for a second. Sorry, but I know you all want to see a bird fight, but we got to keep time on the show. Before I bring out Jay, our next show is on Saturday, February 6th, and our special guest that night is a member of the Royal Canadian Navy, Lieutenant Commander Paul Smith, and he'll be joining us from a secret naval base somewhere on the East Coast. It's Halifax. Yeah, he'll be coming to us from Halifax. You can get updates about all of our upcoming shows if you sign up for our newsletter on our website, monkeytoast.com. And tonight's show, as you can see, it's pay what you can via our PayPal site, paypal.monkeytoast.com/monkeytoast Toronto. And if you have any friends or family you think would enjoy watching tonight's show, but obviously couldn't watch it live, it will be up on our YouTube channel once it's done rendering. So later tonight or tomorrow, if you want to send people there to watch it, it'll be there for their enjoyment. And now let's bring back the Emmy Award-winning Jay Kogen. Yeah. All right.
Hey guys, I'm not done rendering myself.
No. And there you are on set of The Simpsons.
Exactly.
Very nice. Always good to have that ready.
People don't realize it was filmed live and then animated.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Jay. I forgot to ask you earlier, but when you were, but it came to mind when that character that the reverse mortgage guy, which I think Carrie does reverse mortgage ads. I could be wrong. When he got banned from 7-Eleven, weren't you when you were younger? Weren't you banned from the Carol Burnett show for a while?
I was indeed banned from the Carol Burnett show. My father was a writer on the Carol Burnett show. I forget his title, producer or something like that. And I don't know how old it was, 10 or 11. And they used to take questions from the audience in between scenes. And one of the times I stood up and Harvey, at the beginning of the show, Carol Burnett used to come out and ask questions and they would film that. But during the regular filming of the show, other people would come out, and Harvey Korman was a regular on the show. And he was sort of the second lead of the show. And he would come out to ask questions. And I stood up and asked him basically, what's it like being a second banana? It's because I heard the term second banana. And he was very kind and answered it nicely, but my parents thought it was insulting and banned me from a year of the Carol Burnett show.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And we used to go every Friday. We used to go every week to see it. So that was a big punishment.
Oh, so they left you at home?
Yeah. Absolutely. When does the improv start, by the way? At what point does the improv happen?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, like I said, there's so many more things I want to ask you about Simpsons, but I'm just aware of time. But I really want to ask you about, I remember when you won the Emmy, because I had met you and then you won the Emmy. And I remember that your speech was really funny. And the way you took the stage was quite funny. And let me start with this. Gary Shandling handed you the Emmy.
That's right.
And you interned on his show. We had the slide up earlier. You were an intern on It's Gary Shandling show. Did he say anything to you, like when the lights went down and you're walking off the stage? Did he say
I think it was a here, Jay. I think it was a here.
That's it?
Here, have it. Yeah, he didn't. He's very nice. I was been friendly with him ever since I worked on his show. So he was really nice to me and a nice guy and mentor-ish, not quite the same as Sam Simon, but mentor-ish.
Right.
And so it was nice to be on stage and get handed an Emmy from a guy I used to hand, his sandwiches to.
Right.
So that was very special thing. And my whole thing was, listen, awards are stupid. We must admit, awards are moronic. So the people who win awards their shows are usually no better than the shows that don't win awards, and it doesn't really matter. What does matter is you get to be a chance to make jokes on TV. You have that moment to be a performer if you want to take that moment. So I decided I was going to try and make the most of it, and if I won, to get up there and have fun and make a bunch of jokes. So that's what I did. I made a bunch of jokes. One of which was my goal when I won the award was to try and kiss as many celebrities as I could on the way down, to try and strangers, people I don't know, to try and male and female, just like hug them as if they're my good friends. And on camera, what are they going to do? They're going to push me away. They have to, but I didn't find many celebrities in where they keep the writers. wasn't a great plan, but I tried to do that. And then I got up and I had a bunch of jokes and a bunch of gags I tried to do, some of which were successful, some of which weren't, but I'm thrilled that I got a chance to try.
You plugged your mother's real estate business.
I did. Remax. She was a Remax agent, so I decided to plug her real estate business and give her phone number out.
Yeah, you gave, I think, her real phone number.
Yeah.
Out. And I'm curious because I would recommend for anybody to Google Jay Kogen Emmy speech, because you can still watch it. It's very funny. Did your mother get any business?
No, and it wasn't intended for that. It was a joke. So
I'm just
and
curious.
It's a stolen joke. Because I did, I watched many years earlier, about 25 years earlier, Tim Conway had won an award for an Emmy Award, and he did a commercial for the Tarzana pitch and putt. And so I stole that joke from Tim Conway, the late great Tim Conway, and did it for my mother.
That's awesome.
And no, she didn't get any business from it at all.
No. Yeah. Let's get back to the Simpsons a bit. You wrote one of my favorite episodes, probably the favorite episodes of many of the Jews, the Krusty the Clown. We find out Krusty is Jewish, and it's a jazz singer parody.
That's right.
And you got Jackie Mason. There's Mr. Plow. You wrote the Mr. Plow episode.
I did not write Mr. Plow. No, John Schwartzwelder famously wrote Mr. Plow. But that's
Dan Gallia told me for the show that you wrote Mr. Plow. So Dan Gallia.
It's a great, it was one of the great episodes, Mr. Plow. So that's good. But yes, I wrote. My partner and I, Wally Wolodarski, wrote the Krusty the Clown
jazz singer
parody, and it was so much fun. And we did it. It was hard to do. It was hard to get approved. It was hard, not because of the Jewishness, but they thought no one knows the jazz singer. No one would remember the jazz singer. And I had my rabbi was a consultant, and I had actually 3 different rabbis as consultants, because we talked about the Talmud and we wanted to get it right. And so we had to figure out how Bart Simpson could quote the Talmud and repair a father-son relationship.
And didn't you fly to New York to record Jackie Mason?
We did. Jackie was doing a show, and we came to New York, and he looked at us like, I don't know how old we were, 24, 25. And he was like, who the fuck are these kids? Like, who the hell? We directed him. Wally and I got to direct him and sort of say what we wanted, and as good as we can. He still mumbles, even on the show as you could watch it. He's still talking like this and mumbling like that. But he did a great job.
And I want to ask you, we don't have a lot of time, but I want to ask you about The Wrong Guy, the film that you co-wrote and executive produced, and also appeared in as the bus driver.
Thank you for acknowledging my role as the bus driver.
Let me tell you, this is true. So last month, when we were before we went on to stream the show, I told Dan Gallia that we're having you as the guest, and I said, you're the bus driver. And Dan quoted your line verbatim from the film.
Dan, I love you.
People love that film. Like, so many people I know are like, oh my God, people like friends of ours in the comedy community go, oh my God, I'm gonna watch a show.
It's a cult. People like it. It's a cult classic. I agree. It's but I get a lot of love for that movie, more than other movies I made that actually got released. So there you go. We love it. We just celebrated the 23rd anniversary or something like that. And
you did an event to raise money for the Georgia Democrats, right?
yeah, which worked. We won. We did it. The wrong guy put him over the top. And what a great time I had in Toronto making it. And it was a really great fun to work. You know, Dave Foley, Dave Higgins, and I sort of had this idea, and it's great fun to get to make it. Just a pleasure.
All right. You know what? Based on all that, let's see some improv. Now we're going to see some improv. Okay. All right.
Is this on?
Jerry!
On?
Jerry, have you got it moving yet? Have you got it on?
I can't hear you. Is your microphone on? Because I can't hear you.
Well, it says it's on. It says it's on right here.
It says it's on.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Is my microphone on? Can you hear me?
Hi, I'm semi-famous Canadian actress Sandy Jovan Bevins, and if these two idiots can get a reverse mortgage, so can you.
Can you
cut to a house in the suburbs somewhere. So as you can see, this is the living area. It's quite spacious. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. There's 2 bedrooms off the back, and there's an addition put on that is a sunroom.
A sunroom.
Yes.
My gosh, where's the moon room? Where's the moon room?
Oh, that's in the basement. Come on.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
This
is
my. What's that?
This is my first time. This is my first time buying a house. So I don't really know.
Everybody has to have a first time.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Mr. This is Mr. Richardson. He lives in the moon room in the basement, so he comes with the house.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, hello, Mr. Richardson. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just assumed that it was a vacant.
Oh well,
property.
it's clearly said.
I'm no bother.
It was a 2-bedroom, 1 geriatric. It's a bungalow as well. But yes, he comes with the house, and he has a lovely vegetable garden in the back.
I do. And access from the back.
And then, Mr. Richardson, do you? Great.
I'm a great babysitter.
Do you clothe yourself when you go outside, or you just stay unclothed in the basement?
Well, as you get older, you develop a lot of dirt, and because you don't shower as often. And so therefore, I'm warm enough with the dirt.
I should
say that Mr. Richardson was recently updated, so he has had some work done, so that he's almost like new. So I think that really shows well.
Do you have a father?
Okay. Well,
Cut to
I
the
don't.
house inspector's appointment.
Hi.
Hi, Alice is it? So we've inspected Mr. Richardson. Oh, where'd he go? We've inspected Mr. Richardson.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
We figured, I think you're very wise. If you're going to buy a house, you should have every part of it inspected. Mr. Richardson is going to need some work in the future. He's okay right now, but he's got a bit of a mold problem that you might want to look into. Yeah, it's nothing dangerous, nothing that probably some regular showering won't fix.
Yeah. You just have to force me into the shower because I don't like it.
In terms of in terms of his furnace, if you will, it's working. It's working right now, and his heart transplant is under warranty.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So if anything goes wrong within the next 10 years, you will be covered. But anything after that, you will have to pay for it out of pocket.
I mean, I would assume that after, no offense, Mr. Richards, but probably after 10 years, we're not going to have Mr. Richards around at that point. I would just, how do I, is there a recycling fee on that, or did the previous owners pay that fee?
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but this is a heritage home. So anything that is in the home when you buy it is going to have to be maintained and upkept as you continue to reside here and as you continue to sell the house moving forward. So he is a heritage feature of the home. Yeah.
You wreck it, you get sued.
Am I allowed to make? Right. Yeah. But I can make structural changes after his demise. but keep him in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, any changes you make will have to maintain like the cosmetic integrity of the original fixture. So as he looks now, he will have to continue to look moving forward. Now, I have a few colleagues at the Royal Ontario Museum who you could probably talk to about mummification and embalming. And I also, if you want to go kind of a less expensive route, I have a friend who does taxidermy.
Cut to 10 years later.
Okay.
So I'm glad you came in with the, yes. I'm glad you came in.
No, I'm sorry. I was just
about your Benjamin Button reverse mortgage, which means your old man in the basement. We can actually age him backwards, therefore making him younger and younger. It's a reverse kind of old man mortgage.
Yeah, I can't afford to keep the upkeep with him at the age that he is right now.
No,
and as you know, I live in a heritage home.
That's what I'm saying, and we're not
upper Canadians. Am I right?
No, we're not going to kick you out of your house. As Sandy, Job, and Bevan says on the TV, what we do is we invest back into your house in a Benjamin Button sort of way. Pretty soon, your old man in the basement is a 25-year-old college student.
Okay, because I've put 2 pacemakers in him at this point, and I'm really worried about the pacemakers. I'm worried about all of it. So I say we just do it. Let's just get it done.
Cut to the happy guy at his office. Oh God. I gotta say, being happy all the time has just gotten exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And I feel like I'm gonna have to go back to the North Pole and just see if they can reverse this whole thing.
You look rough. You've never looked worse.
I can't sleep. I get so happy I can't sleep. I get so happy I can't do anything that's sort of productive in my life.
What? I say go for it. I mean, if what's going to make you happy is to be unhappy, you've got to follow your misery.
I think you're right. That's what's going to make me happy, is just to be unhappy. Wait a minute.
Hey, but are you sure you want to let go of me? You sure you want to let go of me and go to the North Pole? Huh? You sure?
I just think I will. I think I want to risk it all. I want to risk it all. I know everything I want is in that hand, but I got to risk and see what's in that bush.
There's me and another one. We're here.
All right, I'm letting go then.
Take me there. Take me there, bush birds.
What's that up in the sky? Birds and a man.
Oh, there I am. Finally made it back.
It's
you. Do you remember me? Do you remember me, little elf?
Yes, I do. I'm in shock. I keep fainting. I never thought you could make it this far.
Little elf, you made me so happy, and it was good for a long time, but now I just want to be unhappy again. Is there any way you can reverse that shot?
I do have another gun that will help.
Oh, you elves and your guns. Always coming through for me.
All right, this one is a sad gun.
Oh.
I don't have anything to make you go back to normal.
So I can be happy or I can be sad?
You can be one or the other, but not both.
Oh, I wish I listened to that bird in the fist, in the hand. It had everything I wanted.
You talk to that bird in the fist?
Well, the bird in the hand.
Bird is wanted.
What?
That bird is wanted up here in the North Pole.
For what?
For taking my...
Oh.
You know what you did.
Followed me
here.
I
know what I did. And I would do it again. Let me tell you, I'll show you my gun.
This bird is bad news.
Well,
I'll tell you what. I'm not the bird in your fist anymore. Now you're going to be sad. And you, elf, you're going to be the elf in the fist. Get in here. Get in here.
No.
Oh, no. Let me go. Let me go.
No. I'm going to be happy enough to free that elf. I can do it. I can free you, elf. I can do it.
Oh.
Elf, run! Elf, run!
Oh.
Elf, are you
I fell on the floor. I fell on the floor.
Elf,
I can't see anything. I'm on the floor. It's too dark.
Elf, get up.
Okay,
Elf.
let me look for me.
Elf, you've got to be there somewhere.
I can't find me, but here's my deer.
Oh my God, it's a crystal deer. Elf.
I can grant you a wish.
Wish. There's the failed fist. What wish? One wish. Look, dear, I had the choice of being happy, and then I had the choice of being sad, but I don't really want to be either one. I just want to be me again. That's my wish.
Cut to a couple in a suburban home watching TV.
You know, the TV guide was really bang on about this one.
Oh man, this is a Hallmark Christmas movie to remember.
And that is the end of the show, everybody. All right, let's hear it for the cast, everybody. Among those players, Jan Caruana, Dale Boyer, Herbie Barnes, Ed Sahaley, Gary Griffin, and Sandy Joven Bevins. I'd like to thank Matthew Reed on the keys and Dan Gallia for live editing and doing the live stream. And let's thank our very special guest, the one and only Mr. Jay Kogen. Yeah.
Guys, you really held up a mirror to my life.
And I just want to say, if anybody wants to hear Jay and his dad together, I would highly recommend. They did the Gilbert Gottlieb podcast a couple years ago, and you can Google it, and they're both hilarious on it. It's worth checking out. His dad is really
Gilbert Godfrey or Godly, Dave? What are you going with there?
Gottfried. But Gilbert Gottlieb does a different podcast. So
it's actually about insurance, which Carrie pointed out. He sells insurance, not reverse mortgages.
Okay.
Jay, you've got the iCarly reboot you're working on. Is there anything else?
Reviving an iCarly for adults, an adult version of iCarly, not for kids. So don't tell your kids, but as adults, you'll see. And I'm available on Twitter at Jay Kogen. For all on Fridays, I do a philosophy Twitter feed. And that's kind of fun. And what else am I doing? I'm just waiting for this pandemic to stop. Otherwise, I'm good.
All right. Anyone else in the cast have something to plug? We forgot to go over this before the show. You got something to plug? Put up your hand and plug it. Anybody? No? Okay. Sandy, I know you always want to give a shout out to there's a food bank.
I do. Yes. I always wanted to say give to the food bank, please. Every Saturday across the street, we have the food bank, and there's a huge line every Saturday. So a reminder that if you're looking for some way to help in these times, the food bank's always a good way to go. Thanks, Dave.
And I donated because of you, because you brought it to me.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
And I want to say that the Panel Show podcast is back. It's back online. Anywhere you get your podcast. Herbie was on the last episode. He appeared as the fake Matthew McConaughey. It was really funny. So please check that out. And also coming up in a couple months, I'll be launching the Quizcast Fact or Fiction, which will be information on the Monkey Toast website. But for all Monkey Toast stuff, please check out our website. Thank you all so much for watching. And Jay, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you on the show. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Everybody.
Good night.